Hello, and welcome to my channel. So, today's topic for this video, well actually, let me just do a little introduction first. My PlayStation 4 name is a-goofy goober yeah. My YouTube channel is, of course, Grunge Gamer. You should already know this, so you can call me GG or Goober, it's really up to you guys. I also go by Will, believe it or not. So today's topic is not only do video games cause real-life violence, is also this little introduction I'm about to give now. So, basically, what this channel is, right now, obviously, Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, this is probably either just going to be for 1 to 5 videos until Sony releases their update for the PlayStation 4 system, which will allow me to use my Hauppauge 2 capture card with it to record, all the PS4 games. And those range from pretty much, Battlefield, Need for Speed, COD, all of them, Don't Starve, whatever. So, without any further ado there, let's get into Super Mario Bros. 3. So, do video games cause real-life violence? I would have to say probably not. Not probably not, I lied. I just wanted to see if anyone would be like, probably not. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting a little off topic here. I have a problem with doing that. First of all, I'm gonna give a little background knowledge on the subject. So, I watched a podcast a couple weeks ago, and it was essentially, do video games cause violence in real life? And this has always been an issue that's been at the front of my mind, because being a gamer, obviously, I have to feel strongly about it. Now, to say that video games cause real-life violence would be incorrect. There's a lot of things that cause real-life violence, from, previous violence in someone's life, to really anything could cause violence if you look at it that way. Now, the point that I want to make, how did I not die there? The point that I want to make is, hey, there's a couple instances I heard about in this podcast, and I'm going to explain them in my personal opinion. So in Germany, a bill of law was actually almost passed to forbid anyone from creating and or playing video games with extensive amounts of violence in them. Fuck shit. So essentially, you play COD, and the penalty is, I should mention this prior, is going to jail for up to 12 months. So you could spend a year in prison for playing, Call of Duty, which is, ridiculous, because that's not even an extensive amount of violence, but it was still included. And the reason for this was a school shooting that took place. Now, oddly enough, in this school shooting, no one was killed, but over 30 were injured. And the reason why it was pinned on video games, I guess they do have kind of valid reasoning, although I'm going to explain to you why I don't feel it's true. The user played a lot of Counter-Strike, and now, Counter-Strike, for those of you who don't know, is a Valve-designed game. It's just a shooter. There's not really any extensive, crazy violence in it. There's no, taking someone's head off, But so they discovered, the police or whoever was investigating, discovered that the man had played a lot of Counter-Strike. So, being the people that they are, they immediately assumed that video games were involved, and they started this bill of law. Now, the bill of law didn't get passed, as I said, but the issue for me is, why is it okay for us to say this when really people don't really have much consideration for other topics? So, you want to say that video games are the sole purpose for causing this violence, you'd be incorrect. Now, if you were to say that video games had a part in it, I might partially agree with you, because I say that in every instance of school shootings or violence, we have probably a 10% input that gaming could have caused, because I play Cooking Mama. Now, that doesn't make me a chef, although it does give me knowledge on specific food types, etc. It could. Now, the point I'm going to make on that is, if you want to say that video games are the sole cause of all this violence, how can you say that? The ratios of people that play these games to the people that go out and shoot up schools after playing these games is ridiculously different. Millions of people play Grand Theft Auto, but millions of people don't go shoot up schools. Do you see where I'm coming from now? Now, if I still haven't convinced you, one thing I want to talk about, and by the way, this isn't about convincing you, but, if you're still not convinced as to why I would say these things, think about, let's say, Columbine. Apparently, I'm trying to go off memory here, but they blamed either Marilyn Manson's music or it was something of that. Now, that's not a video game, so clearly they're saying things other than video games can contribute to violence. So, why should we stop it at the media, music, video games? Why don't we think about a little bit more in-depth? See, why don't we talk about families, etc.? So, maybe there's family violence, upset families. Maybe the kid's just not happy. Maybe video games are their escape, And maybe it's not the video game that pushes them over the edge, but so much the video game that, I don't know, let's say, it wasn't enough even. Maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe the violence was a downside to it, because maybe it did kind of give them incentive as to this could be a solution. But, really, you can't put the entire blame on a game because there has to be outside sources, whether it's a mental illness, anything really. But you can't solely blame a video game for causing an extensive amount of violence. Now, the second instance that I'm going to want to talk to you about is, I believe it took place in Oklahoma. And now, the instance of violence that was mentioned is... Oh, by the way, this is my Mario gameplay, and I'm doing it live, so I'm kind of surprised I just fucking didn't die there. Now, the second instance is a man who... He was arrested for accusation. Let me just say, the game they accused was GTA, and you'll see why. The man was arrested on accusations of car theft, Grand Theft Auto. But this is where it gets good. Well, not so much good, but, you know, juicy, if you will. So, the man was taken in, and he assaulted a police officer that was, you know, watching him, or whatever you want to call it. And, oh, look at that. And, so he assaults the cop, he steals the police officer's gun, shoots him, shoots another police officer, shoots a 911 correspondent responsive person down the hallway in the head. This is the part that you just have to say something else outside of video games is wrong with this person. Because although you can steal SWAT vans in Grand Theft Auto, you have to be seriously mentally driven off the deep end to do this. He made his escape from the station in a SWAT vehicle. He stole a SWAT vehicle to escape the police. Now, why not just take a low-profile car to get away? Because he obviously was not correct in the head. You can't say that GTA is the sole purpose. Maybe the person has a mental illness, or, you know, thoughts, whatever. Not necessarily a mental illness. Maybe the person has a mental illness that drives them already. Maybe GTA, maybe they have a mental illness where things they see they have to recreate. You never know. You can't say it's the video game's fault. Maybe the person's mind is to blame, not the video game. Sure, if the video game plays a part, like I said, but it would be less than 10% in my opinion. The last thing I really want to say on this topic is, personally, I believe video games do not cause violence. Other people are going to disagree, I know, but I personally say that they do not cause it, although they can contribute minorly to it. So I kind of an imperative choice there, I guess, so, I don't know, I would say they can cause, I don't know, they wouldn't cause the violence itself, but they can kind of push a person a little bit farther. But there's other things, like I said, the violence in real life, maybe they've witnessed, maybe they have tragic events occur to them, maybe they're traumatized, whatever. But anyways, guys, I'm just about out of time here. This has been Gigi, and I really, well, Goober, but I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're still around, you know, like, whatever. Leave a comment, tell me what you'd want to see my next topic on. I have lots of ideas, but I'd like to get, you know, in touch with you guys as well and see what you guys want to hear about, because it's not just about me. We all know that. Anyways, so my, you know, final verdict is video games do not cause violence, but 10% could contribute 10% to it. Now, I'll be uploading more videos this week even, maybe a cover by the end of the month. Thanks. Bye, guys. Bye. Wow, fuck, oh my god. Bye, guys.